I'm sick and tired of trying to come up with content ideas for my TikTok channel, for this YouTube channel, for my blog. I'm not doing it anymore. Instead, I'm going to have ChatGPT do it for me. If you don't know me yet, I'm Mary Beth Santos. I help you create and sell digital products, things like ebooks, courses, and workshops, and I help you do that faster, more efficiently, and with less stress than ever before with the help of ChatGPT. And today, the help that we're going to get from ChatGPT is going to be with our content creation. Now, this is a big job for ChatGPT. Content creation is how we build our audiences, and our audience are the people that buy our digital products. So we're going to see how it does. I'm going to hop into ChatGPT and I will show you every prompt that I would use to get 100 content ideas. Let's go. Okay, here we are in my favorite place, a brand new ChatGPT chat. I am going to pop a prompt in here and we are going to get started on these 100 content ideas. So first prompt is very big and broad. What can you tell me about making money with digital products like ebooks? I don't normally tell you to make a big, broad prompt like this. Generally, I want you to be doing the crisp prompt framework where we give context, a request, the intent, the style, and the parameters. Okay, when we want a really specific outcome, we want to make sure that we're putting all of that into the prompt. But in this case, I really want something big and broad. What I really want, let me move myself out of the way so you can see this. What I really want out of this prompt is a big, broad list of what will potentially be content pillars for us. And that is exactly what I'm getting out of ChatGPT right now. With this big, broad list, we're going to start breaking each one of these things down into content ideas. We have to give ChatGPT a little bit more context, so I'm going to give it another prompt before I start asking for the ideas. And this is that prompt. I'd like to turn each of those topics into content pillars. Can you break down each of them further? I'd like them to be in a table format. Please I want to exclude legal and financial considerations. And is there anything else that I want to exclude? That looks good. So the only thing I'm not interested in talking about when it comes to my content is legal and financial considerations for the most part. So I'm going to ask it to just exclude that. And then as we continue through the prompts, we just won't worry about that one. Okay, let's see what we get here from ChatGPT with this one. All right, so I love being able to get a nice table out of ChatGPT. This is doing a good job. Mostly what this second prompt is doing, though, is just letting ChatGPT know what we're doing with this information it's giving us. We are creating content pillars, so now ChatGPT should understand that what we're going to do next is, with the next prompt, what I'm asking for is ideas for content that I'm going to create on these topics. And that is exactly what we are going to do next. So good. We've got a table with each of those ideas. I'm honestly not going to even pay much attention to this output. I just wanted to make sure ChatGPT had an understanding of what we were doing. So on to the next prompt. The next prompt is, can you give me 10 content topics for Find a Niche section? I would like each topic to have 4 different headline options, one for a short form video, one for a long form video, one for a blog post, and one for a newsletter. Please keep in mind the way I teach niche is who do you want to help and what do you want to help them with? Please put them in a table. So this is much closer to a crisp prompt. We've gone away from that very broad question at the beginning, and we're looking for really much more specific outputs now. I want to point out one of the things that I'm doing here. I'm getting ahead of ChatGPT rather than correcting it because I know it's not going to get it exactly the way I want it to. I'm giving it really specific information about what I think a niche is. So I've included, please keep in mind that the way I teach niche is who do you want to help and what do you want to help them with. So we should get an output that takes that into consideration. We will see what ChatGPT comes up with for that. Okay, here's our output. This is really interesting. We've got 10 different content topics, 4 different potential titles for each of the different types of content that we can create. I don't know that I would use any of these specifically as they are written, but they are all really solid ideas. Identifying your passion. So like, how do you choose a niche? Obviously you want to go with something that you enjoy talking about. So something that you're passionate about. That's a good topic. Knowing your audience. That's obviously going to be something that's super important. Solving problems. That's exactly how we figure out how to create what digital product to create. What problem can you solve with that digital product? So perfect. Market research techniques, competitor analysis, consumer needs and demands, value proposition, combining passions and skills. That's great. Understanding market trends and testing your niche idea. So that's 10. I asked for 10 and I got 10. I could go ahead and come back to this prompt in a few weeks when I'm done with these and say, you know what, I want 10 more, and it will give me 10 more. So good. So that's number 1 done. Now, what's great about this, now that number 1 is done and it gave us something that we find useful, I don't have to make any corrections to it. It's exactly what I was looking for. That means that the next 9 are going to be super simple. This is all I have to prompt it with. Okay, thank you. Now, can you do the same, but this time with the next topic? Creating quality content. And please make sure that content creation incorporates ChatGPT. So that's, again, my little bit of a parameter to ChatGPT. I always want to talk about creating content with AI, specifically with ChatGPT. So I'm asking it to include that in its output. Okay, here is the output for content creation. Effective writing techniques, research methods using ChatGPT for content editing and proofreading. I would love if it had added something in here about ChatGPT, but I can always do that myself. Visual elements in content, that's a great idea. Value addition for readers. Audience engagement, content formatting, outsourcing content creation, that's interesting. Legal and ethical considerations, I would take that one off. That's probably not something that I would want to talk about in my content, but 9 really good ideas. And I'm actually going to expand on that same prompt, asking for it to give me 10 more on content, 10 more ideas on content creation, but specifically for blog post writing, YouTube video creation, newsletters, and short form video. So now I'm going to get 10 more. So actually we're going to end up with over 100. I'm not going to show you, I'm not going to go through each and every single one, but there are a few that I want to show you specifically so that you can see when I feel like I need to make changes. So I'm going to probably pause and I'll show you all 10 of the outputs before we're done. And I'll just record some of the ones that are a really good example that I want you to see. So here's the 10 additional outputs that I asked for. Blog post structure, YouTube video script writing, newsletter engagement tactics, that's great. Short form video editing, good one. Blog post SEO optimization, of course. YouTube video thumbnails, fantastic topic to be talking about. Newsletter personalization, short form video trends, interesting. Blog post monetization, YouTube video promotion. So there's another 10 topics I could potentially talk about. Okay, so this next one I wanted to get really specific with too. So I am going to ask it about, okay, so thank you. Now you can do the same type of table for the next topic, designing and formatting, and please be sure to include these options: Google Docs, Canva when necessary, and free book templates in Google Slides from HubSpot, because those are the 3 things that I recommend for creating your first ebook. And then I'm asking is just anything else that you think will be helpful for that topic. So this should give me something that's very specific to me, what I teach my people, and who my audience is. So again, just another good example of how you can personalize each of these prompts so that when you get the output, it's going to be very little work for you to actually now go ahead and create the content. And here we go. We can see we've got designing in Google Docs using Canva for cover design, which is actually exactly what I teach. So mostly use Canva for creating your cover. Free ebook templates from HubSpot, typography and readability, excellent, good to have in there. Color theory and design, that's great. Formatting for different e-readers. Now this is actually something that I would, if I were continuing to go a little further with this prompt, I would ask it to take that out because I don't recommend selling your books on things like Amazon KDP, so that's not something that I would include here. Images and visual elements, excellent. Interactive elements in ebooks. This one actually is very interesting, and I am going to have to ask ChatGPT for more information on it because I'm very curious what else ChatGPT will have to say about that one. Accessible ebook design and formatting best practices. This one's great. I would definitely use that. Okay, so now we are basically just going through the rest of the topics from the original list that ChatGPT gave us, the content pillars that we came up with ChatGPT, and just a really quick prompt now. I'm going with, okay, great. Can you do 10 more for set a pricing strategy? I've got 10 topic ideas for that. Thanks. Can you choose distribution platforms? And I have given it an additional parameter on this one, but only include ConvertKit and Thinkific. So it's given me that and very specific to the 2 tools that I recommend. Next up is marketing and promotion. I barely gave it any prompt at all there because it knows what it's doing now. We've asked it enough times. It understands what I'm looking for. So there is the marketing and promotion information, affiliate marketing for ebooks, launch strategies. This is all great. Now gather and use feedback. More ideas there. Scale up was the next one. This one is really interesting. A lot of this content probably would be better for me for YouTube and newsletter stuff. So that's really interesting to see that list. And then the final one was building a brand. So I have my 10 topics under building a brand as well. So that's it, 100 plus topics. This video is probably going to be less than 15 minutes. I would say in total, it took me less than 25 minutes to get all of these done. And now I can just pick and choose each day and have my content ideas for the day or the week or whatever it might be. So give this a try. I think you'll like it. Hit the subscribe button and you'll get whatever else I come up with ChatGPT.